Mate, we get a lot of comments about Fabians.
Bloody Fabians.
I know. So we'd better have a bit of a chat about them today, what they are and what their influence is and why we should be careful about them.
And stay well clear of Fabians.
Exactly right.
Yep. 3, 2, 1.
So, like I said, we get a lot of comments about Fabian society and the influence of wages in Australian politics, particularly on the left-hand side of politics. So we thought we'd take a look into it today. What is it? Why is it dangerous? And why it should be thought of as more than just a think tank. So what is it, mate?
It's no good, mate. That's what it is.
It's not good. It's a socialist organisation and think tank established in 1894 in Britain that is dedicated to advancing democratic socialism and social democracy through gradual evolutionary reform rather than violent revolution.
Well, that doesn't sound altogether terrible.
Doesn't, does it?
No.
It's acknowledged as having strong influence over British politics and Australian politics, particularly with Keir Starmer's Labor Party.
Well, that's because
Sure is.
that ain't going all that great, is it?
No. In essence, the Fabian Society strives for equality driven by the state.
Is that equality in wages and everything like that?
Yeah.
Apart from theirs.
And social housing. Well, they're elitists, so they can't be,
So
they can't muck with us.
mix with that.
Correct, exactly right. The Fabians include in their key policy successes the introduction of minimum wage in 1906, universal healthcare in 1911, public education, and the removal of hereditary peerage, the British system of noble titles passed down and held in families with entitlements inherited rather than earned.
So getting rid of the royals.
Well, yeah, getting
Pretty
rid of
much.
those landowners and estate owners. Yeah, exactly right. So their aim is to achieve everything slowly and gradually so that no one notices. Change by stealth. They're driven to infiltrate or influence existing political parties and strive to weaken traditional influences and replace them with socialist structures.
So does that mean they're trying to get rid of things like religion and things like that?
That's a really good point. One of the things that did come up when I did some early research was that they were trying to, in these modern days, replace community religion with broader social media. Really interesting that you would pick that up. Another example is the Fabians taking control of water, gas and transport back in the early 20th century, removing it from private enterprise and placing it under government control. They're closely aligned with WEF policies, but there doesn't seem to be a link. There would be.
There, of course.
Yeah, there'd have to be.
Their policies are too close together for it not to be a thing.
Exactly
You know what I
right.
mean?
So famous Fabians today are the one, the only, Sadiq Khan, Lord Mayor of London.
And he's doing a spectacular job over
Isn't he?
there, isn't he?
He is a
people-
disgrace.
The people love him.
No. Well, a certain type of person loves him. Most don't. He's the vice president of the Fabian Society. So he's right up there.
If he's the vice president, who's the president?
It's a no name. I didn't know the name of the person.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Other people involved in the Fabian Society in the UK are Keir Starmer, Rachel Reeves, David Lammy, Lord Peter Mandelson,
Oh,
Epstein's buddy,
Epstein's pal.
Ed Balls. They're all notorious Fabians. Ed Balls. I don't know.
I don't know Ed Balls, but I'm sure
Evidently he's very
people
well
in
known.
UK will know him.
The Fabians have strong roots in India, Singapore and Pakistan, although not as much there as they used to, and also in Ireland
Ireland.
and New Zealand, and obviously
Oh, I wonder if the Prime Minister in Ireland is a part of it.
I'd have to check that
That would be interesting.
because there's some socialism
Because
going
they
on over
are
there.
ballsing up that place big time.
They are, exactly right. Previous Australian members include Gough Whitlam, Bob Hawke, Paul Keating, Julia Gillard, John Curtin, Bob Carr, Don Dunstan.
Bob Carr?
Bob Carr, New South Wales Premier. Don Dunstan, Bill Shorten, and our all-time favourite, Kevin 07.
Kevin 07.
Currently, Fabian members in Australia, Anthony Albanese, Tanya Plibersek, Andrew Lee, Jenny McAllister, Chris Bowen, Penny Wong, Anne Alley, Lachlan McCall, Malandiri McCarthy. That's an interesting one. They're all Fabians in Australia right now and all members of the Socialist Left and the Labor Party.
Yep. Very interesting.
But like all these things, mate, when you scratch the surface, some more nefarious stuff comes out.
Yep.
So let's have a look at that. There's some grassroots activists running around the Fabian Society in Australia. They're all about things like property law, which spells 15-minute cities.
Yep.
Unionism.
Well, we all know how that went.
Exactly right. Equality platforms such as the Yes Vote and worse. We'll get there in a minute. So what influences do they have in Australia? Well, they see themselves as being at the forefront of progressive political advancement and public policy reform. Every time I hear progressive, I get nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you should.
Because it's people taking up, we'll try that next.
Yeah.
Yeah. In their words, you're not doing your job properly if you haven't spent time in jail when it comes to climate. That's on the Fabian website. They show that through their support of the Extinction Rebellion, those lunatics that block roadways, they throw paint on artwork, they glue themselves to things. So the Fabian Society believes that fascism is strongest in the world right now. And this is hurting social, economic and environmental issues.
See, I've got a problem with all that shit. You draw a circle. You got right, you got left, right? You go further around the circle until you get to, on the right-hand side, supposedly fascism. You go on the left-hand side, you get to communism or socialism. Now, that's a circle, mate. Fascism and socialism are so closely knitted together, it's hard to see one from the other, as far as I'm concerned.
Is it just different ideology then?
Maybe. I mean, George Orwell, he went to fight in the Spanish War in 1936, and he was on the side of the Trotskyites. So basically, Trotsky was like Lenin's right-hand man, and he was going all right because Trotsky's ideals weren't quite as left as some others, like Stalin. So when Trotsky died, Stalin took over that little. He was so disillusioned by the shit because they were fighting fascism.
Yeah.
And he lost the plot.
They do proudly claim to influence Australian politics, and with all those members, they pretty much control Australian
Pretty
politics.
much.
I was surprised to see Dr. Evil not in there. He's on the right side of Labor. Not right as in correct, right as in...
Chalmers?
Yeah, he's on right-leaning. Yeah.
No.
Just shows you that he's a patsy. So particularly when it comes to striving for greater equality of power, wealth and opportunity, a broader public service and an accountable and tolerant democracy is what the Fabians are standing for in Australia. So why do we need to be wary of the Fabians, I wonder? So while promoting equality, they associate in elitist circles that design social structures for the rest of society.
The rest of us.
The rest of us.
So
they will not...
So basically, it's exactly what WF want to try to do. They want everybody to be under their control.
Yeah, but not them.
But not them.
They won't muck with us.
They want to still be able to fly and go on their jets and blow things up or start wars or do anything they want. But we have to behave ourselves.
Correct.
Because Big Brother is watching.
They will have private jets. We will be allowed to walk 15 minutes to the shop.
Or every 4 years we'll be allowed to jump on a plane and go 100 kilometres away.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, unreal.
They offer technocratic views, preferring bureaucrats, scientists, economists and engineers to make decisions rather than politicians. And you can see that in Australian politics today.
They did it all through COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, believe the science. It's moving fast. Nothing moves as fast as science. It's like, what? Some of the shit that we're saying during COVID was like...
And that's continued into climate, mate. They call it rule by experts and prefer data-driven politics.
It's so they can blame something else other than themselves.
They aren't influenced by people-first politics and prefer to rule than govern.
Yeah, because they don't give a shit about the people.
Exactly right. This is why climate and renewables are all about the science as they see it and not about cost of living or impact on the people. Socialists that don't care about the people, they care only for the process of achieving their ideology.
Yep.
So now we know what the Fabians stand for. It's not us.
Nah. It's basically the Labour Party.
He's exactly right. So in the past, the Fabian Society has promoted eugenics. This actually terrifying.
Yeah, that is quite that's quite frightening. I mean,
is.
Who else liked eugenics?
Don't know.
Hitler?
Oh, really?
Well, he was trying to make a master race, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. So for those that don't know, eugenics is a pseudo-scientific ideology that advocates for improving the human race through selective breeding and social engineering. This policy promotion includes the sterilisation or segregation of undesirable humans. That does sound like Hitler. And the Fabians. At one stage, when tried in the USA, more than 60,000 people were sterilised due to the state of their mental illness, their racist beliefs, or their belief in classism. The marginalisation of lower income or education individuals. Terrifying, mate.
And this is still in their charter, is it?
It's not in their charter anymore, but I scratched and found it. It is accepted that today the Fabian Society exerts significant long-term influence on Australian policymaking, particularly around climate, social welfare, and cohesion and public planning. These people should not be in charge of us at all, mate. It's dangerous because they are unelected, influence-wielding bureaucrats that are influencing decisions made for all of us based on their ideology. Currently, it could be said that they are pretty much running the country.
Yeah.
And they are taking the WEF lead, mate.
Yep.
These are the people behind the scenes.
It is very frightening.
And most of them are either unionists or lawyers.
The worst of two.
Exactly right. So next time you're considering who to vote for, do a little research to see who's influencing the party you're considering voting for. If the Fabians are mentioned and you enjoy freedom, perhaps consider an alternative. Yeah, when people say it's the Fabians, you think, oh, yeah, it's this. Yeah.
You just think it's some sort of...
some cult.
When you first look at it, it's the think tank for socialist type-minded people, you think, it's a little boys' club.
Yeah.
But it's not.
It's people getting together.
It's a lot more than that.
It is, absolutely it is. They have way too much influence and they sit in all the policy-making decisions with the Labor Party.
And they don't want to govern, they just want to rule.
Yep.
Maybe that's why it doesn't feel like we've had any governance whatsoever in the last 10 years.
Yeah, as our friend John up in Colburn says, there's a lack of governance.
Yeah.
It's all about
Well, now we know why.
Yeah, exactly right.
They just want to tell you what's going to happen. You don't get a say.
Yep. And they have influenced Australian politics so much so that 11 or 12 of the current ministers are Fabians.
Yeah.
They control power in this country.
That's scary.
And they have an ideology that doesn't sit with the other 28 million Australians.
What about that deal we've just done recently with Singapore? Fuel.
I haven't heard about it. I know we're in Malaysia and Brunei doing a deal, but I haven't heard about Singapore.
Yeah, I was just wondering. I wonder if it's between Fabian camps.
Well, it says that the new Prime Minister of Singapore is not a Fabian. He's turned his back on it. The first two in this new revolution, or since World War II, not revolution, but new line of leadership, were Fabians, but they've moved away from it to a more pragmatic leadership style, more capitalist leadership style. But you hear about Singapore, and I love Singapore.
Yeah.
You love Singapore.
I love Singapore.
But it is as close to socialist and communist as you can get.
Without being
communist. Well, it's socialist. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't want these people in charge of us.
No.
We want people governing our country on behalf of the people, not on behalf of the bureaucrats.
Yeah. I mean, Singapore's a nice place to visit. But live there? I don't know.
Not live and work there.
No.
No. Wouldn't like to do
Holiday.
that. Yeah, holiday. Yeah.
Like Russia. I'd like to go to Russia one day and visit. Yeah.
Really?
That Kremlin looks freaking unreal.
No interest.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting.
Yeah, no.
I'd also like to do the Trans-Siberian Railway.
Yes, I'd like to do that.
Well, you're going to go right through Russia.
Well, maybe. I don't have to get off. I think it'll be a while before they let us in.
Yeah.
We haven't said anything nasty about Putin for ages, mate.
No, there's just too many other dickheads going on.
I know. Well, we haven't said anything about Trump lately either. Maybe we should cut all this out.
Jeez.
Yeah. Baby Jesus
Where
Trump.
do you start? God.
Anyway. Let us know what you think, everybody. The Fabians are in control and we need to change it.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
See ya.